And we welcome you back to our 2024 Sooner Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Media Day. I'm Jim Powers, Assistant Commissioner of the Sooner, and we're going to head down to just outside of Fort Worth, right in Fort Worth, actually. The great folks down at Texas Wesleyan, the Rams, and their head men's basketball coach, Brian Wanamaker, and one of their outstanding student athletes. He does a great job on the court, Richard Afale. And Richard, we'll start off with you. Last year didn't end the way that I think the program wanted it to end. And so, does that lend a lot of motivation into the off-season workouts and as we've hit into the preseason as we get ready for the year?
Most definitely, most definitely. I'll say the biggest thing so far is just that we didn't have last year was just making sure our team works well together and just how we complement each other, relationship with each other on and off the court, and just building that.
And you're going to be one of those guys that coach is going to be leading on throughout the year as a leader, not only on the court, in the locker room, but also in the classroom. So, what about your leadership? Are you a loud guy? Are you a vocal type of player? Or are you more of a lead by example, quietly get it done, and just show everybody the right way to do things?
I am more to like lead by example, and if I do need to say something, I will say it, but I'm just not always, yeah, like that.
Coach, talk a little
Well,
bit
he
about
did. He
this.
did. He
Yeah.
was vocal a couple of weeks ago. It was really good. I appreciate it. I stood up in front of the group in the locker room and I spoke to them about some things. And once I was on my way out, he just stopped me and said, "Hold up, go, wait, coach, wait a second." And he spoke to the team. So when he needs to be vocal, he's vocal.
And talk about him on the court. I mean, he does so many great things for you guys. And, being a leader out on the court is something you're going to be leaning in on him a little bit for this year.
Yeah, so Richard last year, it didn't go as well as probably he wanted individually, and same for us. But some of it had to do with just health, and just the team just not really finding his groove. But it's the reason Richard came here. It's the reason he was at Dayton. Like he's a very very skilled and talented player. Uh, and I think the biggest thing he brings to us is that even though he's very talented, he makes the effort to do the right thing every time, right? So when he says leading by example, he does that every day. And I talk about it to the group every day. Like he nonstop, he's consistent with screening and rolling and rebounding, like all the little things that it takes to win. He's consistent with. So I lean on him to lead by example for sure, and he has made my job easier, because of that.
No doubt about it. But you've got some other guys that are going to contribute in some big ways, some veterans coming back, but also some new players to the program that you're going to have to, they're going to have to fill some pretty big shoes.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We got Trey. He was in NAIA last year, was an all second team all conference player, and I expect him to come in here and try to fill up the scoreboard for us as well as he did last year at Central Methodist, and also lead. He understands what it takes to win in the NAIA because he was here last year. And then we got Vegas Evans, who he's coming over from Canada. He's a big wing, but he can also score and shoot, and he's just kind of learning our style of play and understanding. I need these guys. Richard and Caden are returning guys to just kind of let these guys know and understand how tough this conference is. So we also got a couple of other guys. Montez Young, he was on our roster last year, but he only played the first 4 games. So I expect a monster season out of him. He understands also what it takes to win in this conference. Khalil Turner, he's coming over. He was a Division I transfer, was a starter, on the Division I program, and I expect him to come in and have an impact immediately right away. He's a guy that he can be really really good for us, but he's still kind of trying to learn, what it takes, what it takes to be successful here, and what it takes to be successful in the Sooner Athletic Conference isn't the same that it took, where he was at before previously. So we have a handful of guys that's coming in that I expect to, just have much more production and help us out. This, like you said, this conference, it'll keep you up at night.
We're going to get into that here in a few minutes. So just hold those thoughts about the conference and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
But The style of play that Texas Wesleyan is accustomed to, big and physical underneath, can get rebounds, but you also have had great guards. So the system that you're getting these guys into, are we going to see a lot of the same stuff that we've seen with Texas Wesleyan, or kind of going to tweak a few things throughout the year? And I'm not asking for the government secrets either.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. So one thing Coach Singleton used to always say is he's not recreating basketball. And the same for me. I'm not recreating basketball, but I am going to tweak some things. Our defensive philosophy and scheme is going to be a little different. Our offense is going to be a little similar, but there's going to be a lot of tweaks to that also. And yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, that's no problem. But
Listen,
but Rich,
new head coach, I'll let these guys figure it out.
hey,
Yeah,
I
you
remember
gotta
them
have
saying that.
something to have a one up in this conference. Because
Hey, it's
man,
called
like you
having
said,
that ace in the hole that you got to hang on to every now and then
yeah,
and then
yeah,
pull it
yeah,
out. So, but Richard, talk about the system and how you're going to be able to flourish. In what coach is putting in, and I know you can do a lot of great things on the basketball court. So, how is this fitting into your play and also getting guys involved throughout the game?
Like Coach said, I'm not really a selfish player. I literally play in the role of the game, and we have some great guards who can score. Coach gets on to me sometimes about demanding the ball in there, but like from last year, I feel like we was our guards wasn't as aggressive. They was just looking inside for me and Chris, and I like that this year they're also looking for their own thing, but they know when it's time to get the ball inside, call us pick and roll, something like that. So I'm really excited for this year.
And Coach, your non-conference schedule, and once again, we know four non-cons is not the best thing in the world, but you've got some great teams in your non-conference schedule. When you talk about Arlington Baptist, you talk about Dallas Christian, Oklahoma Wesleyan, and then Texas A&M, Texarkana. That's a pretty good schedule to get you ready for Sooner play.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And you talk about Texas A&M, Texarkana. That's a team that just always played a style of play of just full court, 40 minutes press, shoot a ton of threes. Just something different. That we're gonna have to try to prepare for. And then you go to Oklahoma Wesleyan, who is a top 5 program every year.
Yeah.
These guys win 30 games every year. So there's no better way to prepare for the SEC than to playing a team that knows how to win. So that you learn from that game, win or loss, you're going to learn exactly what you need to do to win a game in the Sooner Athletic Conference. Because those guys, that team, I mean, again, top 5 every year, 30 wins, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, probably 10 years in a row. So it'll be good preparation for the Sooner Athletic Conference for sure.
And then, guys, we know the Sooner. In my mind, in our minds, we feel that we are the best basketball conference in the NAIA, bar
Yep,
none, hands down. And I think this year we're deeper than we've been in. And every
yeah,
Thursday and Saturday in the Sooner, it's going to be a rock fight between two fantastic
absolutely.
teams.
Absolutely. And people describe it as, how the Big 12 of the NAIA, every game is like a Sweet 16 game. You can win it or you can lose it. Like there's no, gimmicks. You're just not going to show up and win a game. Like you have to take a game in this conference. There's no cupcakes. Even if the team is 12 or 11th or 10th, it's not because they're not good. It's just because the conference is so hard. So if you don't show up on a Thursday, you always got a chance to correct it on a Saturday. But when you lose that Thursday, Saturday game, it's really, really hard to bounce back from because it's just so hard to win in this conference, top to bottom.
And Richard, the Sooners got some unbelievable basketball players, some of the best basketball players in the country, and you've had a chance to kind of see that. You're one of those guys as well. How cool is it that you get to compete against some of the top talent in the NAI, not only in the nation, but in the Sooner?
It's amazing. It actually hit me by surprise last year, coming down from D1. It was just seeing the talent out here. It was just fun to get out there and just play. And just all the big men we have, guys at MacU, guys at Sagru. It was amazing.
And not just the
And
players, it's some amazing coaches.
yes.
This talent in here, but it's amazing coaches, big time coaches in this conference.
And the community down there. I know I've seen the videos out of watching games down at Sid Richardson Center. I'm excited I'm going to be able to get down there to finally see the facility
Okay.
for the volleyball championship. But, Richard, just the community involvement and the great crowds that you guys get. It's got to be a lot of fun to play in that environment.
But most definitely, just having people to support you and just playing for them is great. It's a great feeling.
And coach, being able to coach in that now, and I know you've had a chance to get to meet a lot of people in the community and all that stuff. You've got to be excited to bring your brand of basketball to Texas Wesleyan and the Sid Richardson Center this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been building a lot of relationships on campus, just trying to get more and more people to support our program. But just as well as us, we're going to volleyball games and football games and support and helping our guys support their peers. So just trying to build that community, that camaraderie within the athletic department, so that we could continue to have that support.
Without a doubt. And it's going to be a great year for you guys. I want to thank you for taking the time to visit with me today and promote what you guys are doing. And I'm excited to see you guys get after it this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to follow the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're down at Texas Wesleyan and talking it over with their head men's basketball coach, Brian Wanamaker, and also an unbelievable student athlete in Richard Amaefule. And they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. When we come back, we'll have more continuing coverage of our 2024 Sooner Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Media Day.